I am like, I'm still fucking sick from this COVID shit. Like I can't, I'm like deaf.
Dude, it's everybody different.
Yeah, man. This is the first time I got it. And like, well, I think, and it fucked me up. Did you get it? You get it?
I got it when I landed in Australia, and I couldn't taste. Well, at first I was like, "Oh, I don't feel good," and then I couldn't taste anything or smell anything, and I'm like, "Motherfucker!" And I took the test, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I got that." And I was sick for like 2 weeks, but it took like 2 months for my body to feel like I could skate and do shit.
Right.
Then I got it again a second time when my wife had our baby in the hospital. We all got it. The baby, me,
oh no,
my parents that were visiting. Like we all were just stuck in my tiny apartment, sick.
Wow.
I only felt like shit for like a day, and I was like, whatever, I'm gonna go skate on that.
Yeah. No, this fucked me up, man. I was like, I cut hair. That's what I do. So like, I can't cut hair, and it's the busiest time of the year. You know.
Yeah.
Like I tested again. I'm negative, so I still feel like shit, but I have to get to work. This is my week. This is my week to make the money, man. And it's like, fuck, I never had this shit. Now I have it. And it's like, I thought I got away with it, but
no,
there's no way. There's no way to.
Bullets for a minute, but it's like, it's the flu, dude. Like everybody's gonna get that shit.
Yeah. And that's exactly what it feels like. It feels like the flu. Just today, like I felt great yesterday, and today I'm like, my head is like fucking just like a brick, dude. But I can hear you great as long as you can hear me. I might be a little louder than normal, so I apologize in advance. All right.
That garlic, man. Eat that garlic. Eat that ginger.
Yeah. That's right. That's right. You got to take care of yourself, right? Cody McElroy. It's nice to meet you, man.
Yeah, pleasure.
This is just kind of stumbled upon this, honestly. A friend of mine sent me one of your hats, and I was like, that's the fucking raddest hat I've ever seen. And I instantly ordered it. I didn't realize what's up.
You got one en route.
Yeah, I know. I can't wait to get it, man. It's gonna be like my piece that I'm gonna wear on the show. It's like my signature thing. I love it so much. And it's a perfect message because I used to do that shit. I used to do that shit all the time. If nobody knows what I'm talking about, I'm talking about cocaine.
Cocaine is something that I have done.
Yeah. Yes. It's apparent. It's in a lot of your pieces. Yeah. One of the most recent ones, the rack flag. That's brilliant, man.
My buddy Joel, he does a bunch of companies here in Australia. He's insane. He influences Rob and I. This is Rob.
What's up, Rob?
He's the world's most dangerous caddy club. This is where it's the hive mind of tattoo brilliance happens. But yeah, he turned me on to that dude Joel, and he was like flooding me with cocaine related ideas. And I have to admit, like, that's the only one I didn't fully come up with. He's like, here.
Okay. That's okay. Hey, listen, man, art comes from so many different places, you know? And so,
like, I'll do something. I'll be like, has anybody done this yet? And
yeah.
Then, so I try to stay 100% pure, but Joel is so cool. He told me, he's like, I came up with this one. You need to do it. And yeah, there you go. So,
yeah, no, it's awesome, man. A lot of your pieces are inspiring, man. They're really cool. I'm gonna, I'll throw some in the video when I do some editing. Some of the ones I think are cool. I mean, they're all cool. But yeah, I can't wait to get my hat. I wish I had it now for the interview, but I didn't realize at the time you were in Australia.
Shipping too right now is so dicey with only on the American side. Like when I send shit to Australia, like 2 days, but when I send something to America, I just sent the same hat to Sean, Chaka Sean. He plays in Surfport.
Okay.
He got his like the other day. So right. It's like one person might get one a month later, one person might get one in 2 weeks.
Right. Yeah, no, once I get it, I'm gonna put it on. I'm gonna take a picture. I'm gonna tag it. I'm gonna do all that shit on Instagram. And like I said, I'm gonna throw some stuff into this video here. So you're considered an embroidery artist. That was the best thing I could think of as far as like what you do.
The shoe fits, man. Yeah.
Shoe fits wear. Yeah.
It's the art that got me in there. You know, I've tattoo art, painting, graffiti, like all sorts of shit. But embroidery was definitely not like a real big thing when I started. And it was like, oh, this guy can make handmade patches. And then my shit took off.
Yeah. What would you say is the main way you sell it? Like, do people, I mean, I know people commission things from you. I did it. But do they commission like custom pieces, like something from their brain and you do it?
Yeah, I try. It's similar with tattoo stuff. Like I try to just do my art. And I like when I do my art and somebody buys that the most.
Yeah.
And I'm a terrible business person. Like I don't have websites and shit like that or representation. So it's like, hey, you like that? Cool, DM me, and then you get it, and everything's there. But in the future, I'd like to be more. This is the company. And
right.
There you go. More mass-produced shit. But yeah, people do commissions, and it's similar. Like I said with the tattoo thing, it's like I want this, and it's like, no, you don't. They tweak it a little bit or whatever, but
right.
I will do full-on commissions. Like pet portraits were a huge one, and I took a break because they were doing my head.
Now, the name of your brand is Dirty Needle Embroidery.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, there's like a tattoo reference in there, kind of, right? Or is that? Am I on the right course?
There's an ex-junkie name.
Okay. Okay, I gotcha. Yep.
Cocaine was not the only drug that I did when I was young.
Yeah. I had a problem with that shit for a long time. Now, if it was right in front of me right now, I'd probably do it. But I don't think I'd ever do it to the magnitude of what I did to myself.
Oh, what? Okay.
Yeah.
I could never do that much. Like it was always just a party favor for me. It never went a certain way. But getting hurt a lot skateboarding for ages went from the pain pills to the drugs. And I had about a 5-year battle, and then did well, and then dabbled again, but now I've been clean for years. Like no methadone, no nothing like that.
That's great, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, no.
The name came from was like, oh, Dirty Needle Embroidery, because I thought the art that I was putting out was catered to the rock and roll type folks and the lowbrow attitude. I wouldn't have like all the classics. I just do flowers on stuff. I just do pet portraits. Like, even though I've done that shit, I thought it would be cheeky and just keep everybody else away and just bring me all the cool people.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. So how long have you been doing it for?
I started embroidering like 13 years ago or something like that.
Okay, wow. So you've been doing it for a while.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, I mean, I'm clean myself. I mean, I smoke weed. I don't know if that counts.
California clean.
What's up?
California clean.
That's right. California sober. Right. Yeah, that's just, I just stick with that, man. It was like, I don't drink. I don't do any of that stuff anymore. It's just, I don't know. It's funny, man. I feel like I'm, after having COVID, like I'm being rewired in a way. Like, I feel like everything's clearing out of my head. And that's really literally why I can't hear right now. It's like dripping down, clearing me out. I mean, it was a long time ago, but not that long ago, man. 5 years ago, probably, when I was like heavy in it,
Yeah, I would drink. Drinking was like the last good party effort. In maybe every couple months, I would go out and have a good one. And then I just have such a brutal hangover, or I'd do like 2 days in a row, and then I'm hungover for like a week. And
Yeah.
then I'm like, and then after I had a baby, and we had a baby, I did a, a good one, and I'm like, you know what, fuck, like,
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah. At a certain age, that 4-day hangover thing really starts to fucking knock at your door, you know?
Silver grew on my chin, and then my hangovers just fucking.
Yeah. No, 100%, man. So I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm like Mr. Burns for 3 days when I have a hangover.
Yeah. Yeah. Arched fucking like humpback, right? Just, yeah. No, I totally get that.
Yeah.
So you're in Australia, but you're not originally from Australia. Where are you from?
I'm from Reno, Nevada.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where all my skateboarding and art and motorcycles and my cool upbringing, great parents, cool older brother. So I had the cool older brother who would take me to the tattoo shop when I was like 14. The shop that he now works at, Aces, and these guys, mainly this guy Rob Highstand, like became my hero. Like, oh, I want to do that. Like fuck washing windows or doing drywall or making pizzas, all this shit I did. I was like, that's it. And then just always, as a skateboarder, hung out with older people, and went from Reno to LA, and then up to Portland, and then back down. But yeah, I'm from the west coast of the state.
Okay. Nice. Yeah, I'm in New York. I'm on Long Island, New York right now. Yeah, man. It's I feel like United States is either like, East Coast or West Coast, and everything in between is just, farms, which is great.
LA.
LA, yeah. You hate LA?
You couldn't pay me to live there. Yeah, I hate it.
I've never been there. I know a lot of people from there, and the consensus I get is that it's just full of phony fucking people, and that's just, who wants to be surrounded by that,
Oh, no. Like, I liked Portland, was cool for a while. I got to listen to like Dead Moon and see them live every weekend, and I met an amazing crew of skateboard people. This guy, Mike Drake and James Hickey and Judd. They were like my dudes that brought me into the fold, and I loved it. There's a million other cool people I can name, but like, Portland was cool, and then it changed. It just got really. I think everybody else left. All the people that loved Portland when I was there, they moved out.
Yeah.
This is like the early 2000s, and it's different now. San Francisco is different now. Everything's different now. When I go to New York is the only America that I like going to. And Melbourne is weird because I just went to Sydney, and Sydney's cool, but it's like the LA of Australia.
Right.
Melbourne,
I've heard that, yeah.
Melbourne's the New York.
Right, that's cool. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, man. This place, as much as it does change, the people don't really change. It's a certain kind of attitude here, that's funny. Like, a lot of people, it's in movies and TV shows, like it's known to be like bad attitude kind of place. But I lived outside of here for a little while, not far. I was in Connecticut, and it's just totally different people. And in a way, like, people are very nice, but it's like, it's weird. Like, why are you being so fucking nice? Like, fuck you.
Darien, Connecticut.
What's up?
It's Darien, Connecticut.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I did a collaboration with this artist, James Concan, and his family's from there.
Okay.
And I remember pulling up to his house and being like, because he's like a gnarly rock and roll, like River Phoenix type.
Yeah.
Roll up to his parents' house. I'm just all, whoa, dude, we were raised way different.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, man. Interesting thing about Connecticut, actually. I mean, I lived there for a little while, 8 years or so. And you don't realize how divided that state really is as far as like income gaps. Like, you're either fucking loaded and you have a mansion or you're poor. There's like no in between. And that could be said for a lot of places, but there in particular, it was like here in New York, there's bad towns and there's good towns. There, it was like bad side of the track, good side of the track, same town. Like you go around the corner, there's all these like 20th century mansions, and then go around another bend and it's fucking the slums. It's like everything's like right next to each other. It's really weird.
Yeah,
honestly.
like, you know where I'm from. You're either really poor, or you've got like your friend where you see your friend and he bought like a new couch, not like like he bought a brand new couch, and I'm like, and he has a car, and I'm like, fuck, dude, you are killing it. Like,
yeah,
he's renting it. You're just like, whoa, dude, like,
yeah,
look at this guy.
right. No, it's all perspective, man. It's crazy. I mean, I've never been rich or anything like that, but I've been around people who are and stuff, and it's just, I don't know, it's weird. Like I almost don't even want it. It seems like a fucking hassle.
Yeah, I have some friends in LA that I don't need to name them, but they're like famous people or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like one of them is the most down to earth, cool fucking people on the planet.
Right.
And I was just trying to. Some people you have to make that gap. Like we really can't get along. Like you won't understand.
Yeah.
And the one that's the most rich is actually the most down to earth, cool kid on the planet, and it's just like I want to make my own money.
Right.
So there's cool people in the mix, but like there's definitely people in LA where I've been like, yeah, you've never.
It's like a different planet. Yeah. Yeah. No, I totally agree with that. And it's like, it's hard to relate with some people like that. And I know people as well who are just like, they're big time, they got a lot of money, whatever. But they didn't come from that. So they're more relatable because they've been where you've been, sometimes when people are just like, they don't know any better. They've been spoon fed their whole lives, and it's hard to get along with them because they don't fucking know anything.
Yeah, I will say the one name, Anwar Hadid. He's like one of my favorite. He's a good friend of mine.
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody says about people that have had money. Like that kid works his ass off, and he's just so down to earth and cool.
Yeah.
And that was like one of the most refreshing things. I was like, wow, dude, and we're still friends. But then there's other kids around similar to me, just like, oh yeah,
right.
But that like he could have had a middle class family. Because I didn't even know who the hell he was when I met him.
Yeah.
I don't follow like pop culture shit that close. But I was just like, dude, this kid's cool. Like, just always drawing. He makes music. He's super, just like responsible and cool, and just like he wants all of his friends to do well. I'm like, wow, this dude's cool. And then I used to have that chip on my shoulder. I'm like, oh, you're rich. Ugh.
Yeah.
But he's cool. He's not in that bracket.
Right.
I love it.
That's awesome, man. And yeah, I didn't mean to generalize there. I mean, like, I was just saying, like, some people in general, just not everybody's like that. Some people were.
I used to have that attitude though, because I was raised in I grew up in like a trailer park kind of, right on the Indian reservation border, the native land, and I had that whole like chip on my shoulder.
Yeah.
Oh, you're rich.
Yeah. Right. No, honestly, I'm the opposite now. Like, if people have like made it, I'm fucking proud of them. I'm happy for them. You know what I mean?
You should be.
Yeah. I just want to be comfortable. That's all I want. I don't want to struggle.
I want to, man. I just want like.
But I don't need bars of gold at the same time. I'll take it.
I want that. I can travel like 3 times a year. My bills are paid and my car runs.
That's it.
My family's eating food. I'm happy.
That's it, man. Now, would you say you could make, or do you make a decent living off of just embroidery alone?
Yeah. It depends on the year. But I could probably. I make enough to. Yeah, I'd really like to own, like, I'd like to do the tattoo shop and like just buy, like, have a building and like we do the tattoo shop. Like, I don't have that kind of money.
Right.
You know what I mean? Where I could
Yeah.
just go down, look at a building and go, that's me, let's do it.
Right.
But I have enough to where it's like, I never have to struggle for my rent for my apartment. I always have food. I have a running car.
Yep.
We get little family trips. I could fucking eat out multiple times a week.
Yeah.
But have like tens of thousands of dollars chilling in my bank.
Right.
Like at any moment in my life, I have more than like $2,000 in my savings account.
Right.
I consider myself like filthy rich.
Yeah. I agree, man. I totally agree with that.
Oh man, that's right.
Like if I have the bills paid and there's a surplus of money in the bank, I'm fucking good with that, man. I really am. I mean, rich. Yeah, no, 100%, 100%, like when we're doing good, it's just me and my wife, but when we're doing good, it's like, we eat out more often and you do all these things. And she's like, you're just spending all the money. I'm like, but we're rich right now.
What my dad always says, he says, don't take it with you.
Yeah, exactly. Wait, what are you going to do with it?
I'm going to save it up. I'm going to put it in crypto and buy a fucking boat.
Yeah. I suck at saving money. Like, suck. Yeah. I am so fucking bad with money. It's actually unbelievable. I don't think I've ever saved anything ever. Like, I'm just like, fuck it. I want it now. I don't want to wait.
I just suck at saving things too. Like I have crazy vintage rock and roll t-shirts and that kind of shit and cool shoes, whatever. And I'll just have friends be like, happy birthday, man, and give them like my favorite shirt or just like, lose a shirt or like I never have like this. And I live like a gypsy and this is the first time I've had a family and I'm living somewhere.
Right.
Bounced around so much, like I don't need all this shit.
Right.
I know.
So I
sucked at not just saving money, but just saving things. And I suck at taking photographs of like my wife is always like picture of like I make the art, it's in the box, I ship it, like you know what I mean? Like I suck at archiving and saving. And it's because of the ADD mental artist brain, I guess, where I'm just like, nom, 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 move on to the next thing.
Yep.
If I was successful, or in the term of like real rich people successful, or like where my business was this big thing and I had the running shop, like I would have to have a doctor on standby, the right amount of chemicals to make sure I wasn't crazy.
Yeah.
And then I feel like I could just be like, I'm like business guy. But then I think all the creative part would be.
Right.
You gotta. I couldn't put all my eggs into the like successful basket. It would just take away from the creative basket.
Right. No, I totally get that, and there is, I guess in a way you can find balance through chemistry. I mean, you're clean, but like I am as well, but I take medication. Like I
went to an appointment yesterday.
Yeah.
So like, cause they're very strict in America, you just walk in and you're like, I feel like this. And they're like, here's some Adderall, here's some fucking volume, and then like,
you can, yes.
Like here, they're like, okay, let's work. I go to a psych, and then you got to work up to it. But I'm going to try to find that balance where I can be a dad, a husband, a friend, an artist, and a business guy.
Yeah.
But if you give me a piece of paper and tell me to write a schedule, there's no fucking way. I'll have an invited back.
Yeah.
I'll freak out and just fold up like a lawn chair.
Right. Wow. Yeah, no, I totally understand that, man. I do take Adderall and it helps, I think that like antidepressants and things like that don't work with me.
I've tried those similar. Took all the juice out of the melon. Like I just felt I'm
empty.
Like, not mad, but I'm not happy. But I'm just good, and I just had no ideas. And dabbled with the Dexies are the same thing as Adderall here, pretty much medication. And I've been like, okay, like my brain feels like it's working, like my personality is still there, and so that's where I'll probably end up.
Yeah, I think the best thing about them, and I'm not advocating this, but from my personal experience, if you're focused on one thing, like let's say you're focused on embroidering, you're gonna fucking nail it, man. You are going to surefire. But if you start thinking about other shit, your mind starts kind of like fireworks, like going in all different directions, and it could be even worse in a way. Sure. It's almost like you're given 5 hours. You take this pill and you're given 5 hours to do something that you want to do, and you better take advantage of those 5 hours. You know,
sure.
It's weird. It's weird, but it does work. As coming from, you know, I've been taking it for a few years.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's just mental chemistry. Funny. The doctor I saw yesterday, I was explaining things, and he goes, he's like super cool, and he goes, yeah, we all have ADD. And I was like, I believe it. Like, I fully believe that.
Yeah. Absolutely. Some people just deal with it differently. People deal with everything differently, you know? That's why certain shit doesn't work for people. Like I'll give my fucking Adderall and she doesn't even know what to do with herself. She's like bouncing off the walls. You know what I mean? Yeah. She's like, I'm tired. I'm like, here you go. You know, but it's not doing the same thing that it should be doing because her brain isn't wired that way.
No, it's like
cocaine.
At the party and like I do a bump and I'm just like, you know, I want to sit there and just kind of soak things up and chill.
Mm-hmm.
Other person does a bump and they don't want to shut the fuck up about like
yeah.
Like the first time I ever did it, I think I just went in the room and listened to records at my cousin's house because I was like, I cannot handle the chatter.
Yeah.
With my brain. I think we have a similar.
Oh, 100%, man. There's definitely been times where I've been at parties and someone just like, you know, got me into a corner for 2 hours, just fucking going on and on. I'm like, just shut the fuck up, you know? Like, I'm just trying. Yeah, exactly. I'm just trying to, you know, I'm not trying to relax. You don't really relax with it, but I'm trying to zone out in my own way. And you won't stop talking, you know? I get it. It affects everybody differently, you know, but.
Yeah, man, brain.
I don't miss those fucking days, honestly. I really don't.
I don't either.
No, it wasn't. I mean, it was fun at the time, I guess, of course, but there's nothing in me that I'm like, oh man, the good old days. I'm just like, fuck.
I still have some psychedelic rewiring now.
Mm-hmm.
I like a good mushy trip there and there.
Mushroom, dude, me and mushrooms do not get along. Like I've never had a good trip. I've never had a good trip on mushrooms. And what's up? Yeah. Yeah, no, it never fucking, I always got like irritated, like angry. And I'm not like that. Like I'm not like that in regular mind frame. I don't know, man. I've went into it with like a good frame of mind, like positive vibe, and just never worked out for me. So I just stick with weed, or I mean, I've done other things like acid and stuff like that, but that shit's just fucking, I mean, that just makes you stupid, you know?
I can control acid. I'm like a wizard. I can take acid. No. I can take acid and go skateboard. And then like, if I need to, I sit down for a minute, everything's groovy, and I can go to the gas station and be like, I'll buy a Coca-Cola. And like, I'm normal. And then as soon as I leave, but like mushrooms, you have to fasten your seatbelt because you don't know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
You know, but I take a small amount of mushrooms. I don't do the hero's journey every time.
Right.
Like, I don't want to see the black dog and go to the dark carnival. Like I just want to like feel like marshmallow boots on my feet.
Yep.
And I want to be in that like vertical hammock scenario.
Yeah. No, that's what I've always wanted too, you know, and maybe that was my problem. Maybe I went too hard, too fast with anything that I did, you know, like I want this to be the ultimate experience, and it wound up being way too much in every aspect.
Nah, like people with psychedelics, like if you want the ultimate experience, just get some real DMT.
Yeah.
You're locked in the room for 15 minutes and then
Right.
you're normal. But like mushrooms, man, like I like a tea. A tea is very mellow. Or just like few caps and you're fine.
Yeah. Yeah. I always ate the whole fucking thing, you know, like just stems and everything, just the whole fucking thing. And that was obvious in retrospect, probably the issue. Like it just melted your world around you to the point of like confusion, you know?
You can't be Neil Armstrong, man. You got to just look at the moon.
Yes. Yes. No, I know. And that's always my problem is like, it's got to be the hard. If I'm going to drink alcohol, I want 120 proof. You know, I want the hardest thing you can get. And
me, it's just like beer only was my. I don't know, man. Other than with a junk problem, to me that was more you're staying away from being sick.
Right.
As far as like addiction or expanding, or like I would like to dip my toes, and then I find a comfort zone. Yeah. Beer is so because beer, you could just keep drinking them.
Right.
Suddenly, like, oh God.
Yeah.
I like to dip my toes in the psychedelic.
Yeah, dipping your toes is great, man. And I think that's what I do now. You know, with certain things, is I go a little easier. Even like the medication I'm prescribed, I don't even take the whole thing. I'll take like a half of it.
Yeah, take a half, man.
It's so much better that way. To be honest with you, the times I feel the best is when I'm on absolutely fucking nothing. You think I would like, at some point you'd be like, all right, this is the way to go. But
I'm on nothing right now, and I feel but like if I was to smoke weed right now, I would only take like 2 puffs off of the joint and put it out.
Right.
Because if 3, I'm fucked.
Yeah.
I respect all sorts of stoners, but I'm the weakest weed guy, man. Like give me like the grandpa Willie Nelson weed, and I'll have 2 puffs, and I just send them in my children.
Yeah, just to relax. Absolutely, it's the same way I do it. It's like just a couple of puffs at night or something like that, and I'm good to go. I'm not looking to get some of these edibles and things like that. Yeah, man, they're crazy.
I have to look at the bag for like an hour. I have a friend in Oklahoma who's like a weed scientist, and he's like, all right, what kind of edible do you want? And I was like, I want an edible that makes me feel like I'm on Valium, but I can still clean my house and have energy and then go skate.
Yes.
And then I will take a nap after. And he's like, and he finds a gummy and he's like, this one's like indica, high CBD, whatever.
Right.
Long gummies one time.
Yeah.
I sat there just like.
Yeah, because there's nothing you can do about it. It's like it sets in.
Turn my phone off. I had to sit there and I'm like, when is this going to stop? It was like 15 hours.
Yeah, man, you get the wrong thing in you and that's it. And that's why I kind of back off of shit now. And like, yeah, give me the fucking just simple shit, like I'm not looking to get fucking toasted. I just want to, and that's another thing. That's another very important thing is I want energy. I don't want to be a slug on the couch eating Doritos. You know what I mean? Like I want to be able to fucking go play a video, do something, anything, even this, I
can't drink coffee. I don't drink, I can drink like a Coca-Cola and feel okay. I like a sugar-free Coca-Cola is all over here in Australia. And if I drink a cup of coffee, I've ruined a quarter of my day.
Yep.
Pouring sweat. I don't care how weak it is or whatever. Like, oh, this is a basic blend. I don't give a shit. Like, and I like the way coffee tastes, so it sucks. But even decaf has caffeine in it.
Yeah.
Something about the delivery of caffeine from coffee. Dude, I have a full. I've like been sitting there and everything started to turn white.
Yeah. Wow.
It was the effect of smoking crack. I was like, I can't do it.
Right. Yeah, no, I'm not a coffee drinker actually. And it's funny because I actually have a cup right now because, well, it's beautiful afternoon in Australia on a Wednesday. It's Tuesday night over here in New York, which is still kind of fucking weird to me. Like, I understand it because it couldn't be 8:30 at night over there in the daytime. But like, I'm talking to someone in the future. Like, you're in tomorrow.
I'm definitely smart. Tomorrow,
That's just that just kind of blows my mind. And both of us trying to figure out the fucking time to do this. It was like head scratch. I couldn't fucking wrap my head around it.
I can write a whole, if I was that organized, I could write a whole like blog or whatever, just about being an American living in Australia is weird. It's fucking weird. It's used 1 year plus, and I'm still not used to just some of the stuff, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's fucking different. It's completely different.
I've been out of the US. I've been to France. I've been to England. I mean, I've been to like, tropical islands and stuff like that, but I'm talking like Europe or just like a totally different, part of the world. And it's, I'm only there for a week, 2 weeks, and it's fucking bizarre. Like nothing makes sense to me. So I don't think I don't know if I'd be able to do it. Honestly, I don't know if I'd be able to be somewhere permanently where it's just so different. I'm 41 years old. Something so different from what I've known for the past 40 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I get it. I'm 38.
Okay. Yeah.
I came here and I was like, okay, like I've been driving a car. We learned to drive in the country when we're like 13. You know what I mean? So like I've been legally driving since 16. I come over here and I actually picked up the road instantly. I was like, oh, this is sick. Like it almost feels more natural.
Okay.
To drive over here, like long drive. I just drove like 9 hours to Sydney, 9 hours back, and it just felt incredible. But then you just see like echidnas, like little porcupine anteaters on the road, and you see like foxes and kangaroos and shit. You're like, where am I?
Yeah. Yeah.
But then like, I don't know, man. It's so fucking different here. The people are great. The food is so good. Like bread. I mean, you're in New York. You get good food, but where I'm from, it's like the main thing I miss, honestly, is I miss Mexican. Like,
Mexican.
I love Mexican culture. I have a lot of Mexican friends. I love tacos.
That doesn't exist there at all.
Shit here.
Right. What about pizza?
Pizza's incredible. There's a lot of my wife's half Maltese, and there's a whole Italian and Maltese. Lebanese, like the entire neighborhood I live in actually is mainly like Middle Eastern neighborhood. Right. So I've never had like a real souvlaki.
Right.
I mean, and there's a stand here like every block.
Yeah.
Fish and chips, but the pizza, I just had pizza last night. It's so good, man. Like,
that's awesome.
They don't give you like Parmesan cheese and like chili, like chili oil.
Okay.
On your pizza.
I can definitely be down with that.
The pizza is incredible.
Yeah.
And the fish and chips, though, that's the main. My dad loves fish and chips. I brought him here, and I'm like halibut is like America's best fish and chip.
Yeah.
That's shit here.
Yeah.
Flake and gummy shark. It's like fish and chip you've ever had. It's on like a piece of paper like this big, and you're just
right.
It's like $16.
That's fucking awesome, man. That really is. That's one of the hardest things for me here is like, even living in Connecticut from New York, like the food wasn't the same. And that's only 2 hours away. Obviously New York is known for pizza, bagels, and stuff like that. And it's hard to find that shit outside of here that's decent, you know, just literally outside of New York. Even some places in New York don't know how to do it right. You know, I don't know if I could do it, honestly. What brought you to Australia?
My wife, I got out of a not so lovely relationship and then was just on the Instagram. I was actually filming, you know that fucking, I always forget his name, that he was like a YouTube influencer that turned into a boxer.
Yeah. Logan Paul.
There you go. He was doing like his first boxing match pay-per-view.
Yeah.
I was in Oklahoma and we were having like a dudes night. Let's go pay-per-view the fight at my buddy Richie's house. And I don't know anything about like Instagram or pirating, so I just filmed it on my phone on live. Halfway through the fight, and then the Instagram banned me.
Yeah.
They're like, "You are banned," and I was like, "Oh shit!" And then I was only banned from streaming, but I got a DM from this girl that was just like, "Oh, thank you so much for filming that." And then we were just making jokes and joking, and I'm like, "Fuck, you're funny, you're cool," you know. Before I even like looked at her photo or anything, I was just like, "Dude, this girl's hilarious." And then she was like, "I'm in Australia." We started talking after that, and then we had to document all of our conversations for citizenship. It ended up being It ended up being 700 hours of FaceTime.
Wow.
Which is a lot of FaceTime.
Wow. So, by documenting your conversations, you literally had to like show that to officials to get into this, to live in the country.
I'll get to that one in a second. So, like, we talked a bunch, and then I was like, "Dude, come over here." Like, I'm like, we're both around the same age. We both want kids. I'm like, she got out of a relationship. I got out of a relationship. I'm like, come over to America. See how it goes. She came over. We were already in love. We got married. She got pregnant. And then as soon as she was pregnant, I'm like, I am not raising a kid in America. Fucking out of here.
Yeah.
She wanted to live in America half and then here half. And then once I got there, I'm like, nope.
Yeah. That's a really cool story, man. Just like, you know.
That's when the fun started. You gotta had some help from her sister and her mom helped out a lot. Thank you, Justin. They, you know, we moved in with her mom, and I just brought like a few bags of shit over, bought a machine, and citizenship was like we hired a lawyer because some people get rejected, and we hired a lawyer. It was like 15 grand.
Wow.
Basically, they tell you what you need, how to do it, and then I mean Jessica, my wife, she basically did all the work. And I got to that shit. But we had to document all the conversations, photos, references from friends and family, everything to make sure that you are a real couple. Marriage certificate, everything.
Wow.
6 months, and then now I have my my temporary. No, I have my permanent residency. I think I got my driver's license.
There it is.
This is a good one. My insurance card. That's the money right there.
That's it. That's the good one.
Just over here to get benefits and shit.
I'm sorry. Say that again.
They want to make sure you're not like immigrating over just for benefits.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's you know, that's a good thing.
Insane here. Like,
it's kind of cool to be thorough like that.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm cool with it. They're going to check up on us in like 2 years to make sure we're still married and everything. And then they'll give me my, like, I can get a passport and shit after I take the passport.
Wow. That's really cool. Let's give it up for Jessica's. That's my wife's name.
Oh, every Jessica out there.
Dude, Jessica's are the best.
They are cool, man.
Jessica Rabbit.
I was going to say, it's just a hot name. It's in our brains from when we watched Roger Rabbit.
Exactly.
Jessica.
Exactly. When I first saw that movie, I was like, I'm definitely going to wind up with a Jessica. There's no doubt about it.
You did.
And we did. That's fucking great, man. So let's talk some shit.
Okay.
Let's get into trouble.
Oh man. All right.
I know you wanted to, you have some problems getting on some of the art podcasts and things like that. Now,
yeah, I think this. I think there's just a very specific beat that some of them have. You know, they want to talk about like their antique machines and stuff like that,
mm-hmm.
and it's cool. I'm not an antique machine collector. I just really don't give a shit about that stuff.
Yeah. However, you have to make something, you make it,
I like the machine I use is the same machine. Yeah, I'm going to get fucking hated on for this one. It's literally, they took the design of a Singer.
Right.
And this guy in India, a family business, they like hand dye their own thread, which floss, which I like to use. If anything breaks, I send a message in 2 days. I have the part for nothing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And my machine does everything everybody else. I see no problem with it.
Yeah.
And so a lot of them, I think a lot of the culture, which is cool. Everybody, like, I grew up riding motorcycles. I love Triumphs. I don't care about Harleys.
Yeah.
If you like Harleys and you live and die by Harley, good. I'm proud of you. Not my thing. My thing is not antique machine talk. And mine is just, I use the cheapest machine. It gets the fucking job done, and the money goes to, this guy's pretty cool. Like,
right.
Good about it. You know what I mean? And I think just from day one, I had a weird experience with the chain stitching community. I did free motion embroidery, which is like the zigzag, you see on the Japanese Super John jacket.
Yep.
All the Russian criminal stuff I do that's really detailed, that's all free motion.
Okay.
I do that on a machine that costs $300 from like you get it at Target.
Right.
And I ripped the most out of it, and I put a special foot on it, and I figured out a way that I can like put paper clip spacers and weird shit to make my machine run. Like I use some OT backwoods engineering to make my shit work. I had an art show, a big art show, put on by some wonderful people. Jerry and Daniel are both awesome. And I had some chain stitch people come there, chain gang, and they're amazing. They're legends, And I just had a question. They're looking at my art and stuff. And one of the dudes from it was really, really cool. And he was like, this is beautiful. Like, how do you do it? And I'm like, just this cheap machine. And he's like, wow, that's crazy. And then another one, I walk over and I'm talking to him, and I'm just like, yeah, man, I really want to, because I collect patches and vintage clothing. I want to chain stitch.
Yeah.
This is very early on. This is like a decade ago. And I go, like, where, like, what's the, and he just looks at me and he goes, good luck. And turned around and walked away. And I was like, dude, I have no time for gatekeepers.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit.
Right.
And they could do some beautiful work. They have like a whole workforce that does their stuff, but like most of the people in that industry, they have stylists that work for them. So they pay someone to promote their stuff. Like, no, I don't pay anybody.
Right.
I make all word of mouth. Like, I have stylists that owe me money because I've been in the I know my friend Jason Redwood understands this. He's, by the way, one of the most incredible chain stitchers there is. Him, Chain Stitch PBX, and Tina Vines. I really like their stuff a lot.
Yeah.
Some other folks, though, but yeah, Jason has people that have owed him money too. It sucks to go through industry to get things done. Because they don't understand the price, and they don't understand the effort that goes into it.
Yeah.
So that was sorry to go off on a tangent.
No, not at all. You want
I had to figure out a way before I talk shit to say that there are some cool folks that are awesome.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. You know, it's funny. It's kind of eye-opening to me because I know the industry exists, but it's not something that was ever on my radar as art, because when I see something embroidered in a store, let's say, or even like patches at like a, smoke shop.
Sure.
I'm like, yeah, someone made that, but like in my mind, and this is just coming from an outside perspective, I was just like, that was done in a factory machine. Like I didn't like, did a person sit there and do it like the way you do it? I didn't. When I saw your shit, I'm like, oh my God, this is fucking incredible. Like, it's a form of art that when I think of art, I think of painting. You think of, whatever, even glass and stuff like that. Embroidery was not on my radar until I saw your shit. And I was like, oh, this is like a whole world I didn't really even know existed. Does that make sense?
Patches and yeah. Like I collected vintage patches for ages, and I would look at them and wonder how somebody did it. I can tell the ones from like the 1920s, like people hand stitched like military badges and stuff. And I'm like, that's sick. Then I'd see some where they were like, like a lot of the Vietnam War ones. Some are pretty offensive, but like, they were stitched, like, a lot of like Snoopy military stuff. And I was just like, whoa, like, I wonder how that was made. And I had really no help at all. I just took a machine, I broke 2 machines, and then figured out how to free motion. Well, actually, this old lady, she goes, you should get a darning foot, because the foot like bounces every time the needle comes down.
Right.
And then from there, I was like, okay, I'm embroidering. And then I tried to mimic the way that those patches look, and there's a lot of like texture and thread direction. So I like that, but I also like the chain stitch was just like on the collegiate jacket and stuff in the bowling shirt and the Western wear. It's just really bold and basic.
Yeah.
I like how fucked up it looks. Like a lot of, you'll see like a letter and like one stitch will just be like,
yeah.
And there's little gaps. And so in the last year or two, I really jumped on like trying to do shit as fast. And like I adjusted my machine in a pretty loose way, but I like to do everything. I don't use a lot of stencils. And I'm trying to develop a style that looks old, but has my modern idea on it.
Sure.
And a lot of the people, more spicy shit talking, a lot of the people that have gotten into chain stitch, they have a computer. They do all their design mocked up on the computer. They print out an image of the letters and the colors.
Right.
Sure. And then they go around it. Mind you, that's really fucking difficult to do. Like to trace, to write your name in cursive on a chain stitch machine takes some people a long time. But like, to me, like when you're done and it's all in there and you have 6 jackets and they all look exactly the same, like to me, that's Barney's. That's not really like, that's not handmade. Like that's not something, I want something that looks like one of my pieces, I want it to look like you don't know when it's from. Like if it was on a vintage Levi's jacket, like an old 40s jacket, I'd want somebody to be like, whoa, that is so, look at it. It's like, yeah, dude, I embroidered that last year.
Yeah.
I like that loose look. That's why I freehand a lot of shit. Usually just like a chalk pencil, just to be like, it's going to be there. And then I just go.
Yeah. No, I totally.
I don't like that. A lot of the chain stitch people, they take photos, super zoom in photos of every stitch.
Right.
And I give them, like, my hat's off to them. You are good. But I think a lot of those people will look at my following and be like, why does this guy have so many followers? And he, like, look at this letter is fucked up. It's like,
right. You know, it's funny you say that. Right. Because I'm like I said before, this has all kind of been eye opening for me. Like this whole thing. Like I said, I'll go into a store and I'll see a pile of fucking Nirvana patches. They're all the same, right? That's worthless to me. That means they're nothing to me. But then I look at your work and I'm like, this is insane because some of them, the detail is so incredible that it doesn't even look like fucking stitching. It's so perfect. And then I'll love something like the Stagger Lee one you made, which I'm a huge Nick Cave fan, by the way, and I can tell you are as well. Something like that where it's so simple and it's kind of that old vintage looking style. It's two completely different styles, but they're done so well, and none of it feels fucking. Oh shit! Oh shit!
It's hot in here.
Oh, I thought you were gonna show me something.
I'm showing off my body.
I'm not taking my shirt off. It's 40 degrees here, or 30, or something like that. What's the?
Here, but Celsius.
Oh shit! No, this is Fahrenheit. Oh man, what's the temperature there? Like, what is that equivalent to here?
92.
92. Fuck.
It's hot. It's the ocean's right there, so it's like
right. And Christmas is what, a couple days away, and 92 degrees. Damn. I'm jealous, man. To be honest with you, I hate this fucking cold weather. It's freezing.
Yeah, sorry to trip you out with my no shirt, but you're saying
no.
Stitching's fucking different. Like
yes, it's different styles, but it's all you. I think that's what I was trying to get at. And
I like my favorite. I'll talk tattooing for a second.
Yeah.
I love traditional as long as you're not fun enough. But like, I love old tattoos. You know what I mean? There's a guy here, and Rob embodies that. He's one of my favorite tattoo artists there. But the guy Johnny Dollar, like you know one of his tattoos. Like it's just such a cool older style. You know, anybody that does old school traditional flash and they're like working really hard to make it their own. It's all like Taylor Jerry, Percy Waters.
Yep.
You know, Hardy. It's all pretty much, it comes from the same place.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you can't get pissed off if somebody does a skull and it looks like your skull. It's a fucking skull.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I like when you could tell it was just a fast, loose, good. Like the way that they feel. I just love that look. And then that's something that I really want to have happen with all of my stuff, with my tattoos, my embroidery, and just my drawings in general. Like I illustrate as well. I love Robert Crumb.
Yeah.
Loose, like quick cross-hatching ink art. You know what I mean? I don't have time to do like insane realism shit, and I can respect it, but I want it to look like old. I want that culture to come out of the
absolutely, man. Do you tattoo as well?
Yeah.
Oh, you do? Okay. So yeah, you're doing all kinds of shit, man.
I had a tattoo a long time ago and then just didn't do it. And then we'll just randomly hang out with buddies and tattoo them and stuff. But yeah, I'll tattoo. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, definitely, man.
Rotary, like it's like the fucking dildo machine.
Yeah.
The gatekeepers also hate, you know?
Yep.
I don't have like a fucking 3 manual tranny with a full start.
Yeah.
Hanging out. Like, I'm not worried about rubber bands. Like, I have my machine and I'm like, Rob, do you want it? Like, here, Rob. I did this 4th layer from the backwards Playboy bunny.
Okay. Oh, that's sick. Yeah.
But it was one of those, like, you want a tattoo? All right. And then it's like, click, trash.
Yep.
Done.
That's it. I like that, man. I really do. I really dig that. I just got a tattoo the other day, and right here on my neck, actually, it's just obviously old school. You know, my mother passed in October, so I got it for her, and I didn't see him do it, obviously. He's over here. But the second I turned around, I looked at his machine and it didn't even have a fucking wire. It was wireless. And I was like, what the fuck is that? You've been tattooing me with a wireless machine? I never even knew that existed.
You weren't deaf when you got done getting your tattoo?
Oh, I was totally deaf. Now, granted, I cut hair and I have wireless tools and stuff like that, but I don't know. For some reason, when I think of a tattoo gun, I just think of like this big fucking monster thing with the wire, you know?
Yeah, I do really love foil machines. Like there's a we tattoo at Rob and I just went up for a guest spot or like a flash day. This gentleman Shiva at Riverside Electric Tattoo in Merdine in Mildura. Insane, like he's just one of those like champion. He's tattooed in multiple countries. The dude's climbed Mount Everest, literally. Like he's just fucking rad, and he's only like 32, and he's just fucking cool. Like he trains he uses foil machines. He trains everybody on foil machines, and then when I'm in there, I'm like, fuck, that's cool. So I don't have an anti-foil machine mentality.
Right? No, I know. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what the fuck is that thing?
I personally I like the lazy. It's like my cheaper chain stitch machine. I'm just like, it works. Give me that thing.
That's right, man. Listen, if it fucking works, it works. That's it.
Results, man.
Yeah, exactly. There's something I wanted to get to when we were talking some shit.
Yeah.
Do you think that embroidery is respected as a medium in art, like as much as it should be?
Well, I think it's respected more so now than it's been. I mean, there's a lot of area in there. Like, I worked really hard to do some handmade shit, like putting barbed wire on collars of shirts ages ago, and then like months later, Givenchy's like done the same thing, and they're busting them out like,
really,
whatever. Like, I think it's respected but cheapened a lot.
Yeah,
I mean, like, but so is everything, man. Now everything is like, you just look at your phone and it's all like Pinteresty, Etsy, like,
yeah.
I think everything's kind of cheapened up, but I think embroidery is respected now because there's enough people doing it now.
Right.
That folks are like, oh, that's an artwork. You know what I mean? Like that's like I really should get one of those little cameras and do a Twitch or what, like film.
Yeah.
To contribute more to that, like we are making art.
Right.
Instead of just being lazy and not doing it. I think there's enough people out there that are doing that. Like that people can understand, like, this is a difficult thing and it should be respected. But it's definitely more so replicated.
Right. Yeah. Like I said, man, it's cool because, I think I'm gonna open my eyes to it more now. Like when I see things, even in the stores and stuff like that, and like, it's going to stick out to me more now just because of you. So by default, you're my favorite embroidery artist, no matter what, because you really open my eyes. Like I said, I'm 41 years old and I'm like, I never really thought of that. Like, people do that shit. I just, one of those things that just, and that's why I really wanted to do this.
It was a quick way for me to make my shit look different. Like I wanted like the Nick Cave shirt. I'm fucking put Bucket of Blood on the back of it, Stagger Lee on the front, and I'm like, I now have the ultimate Nick Cave shirt. Yeah. Like the letters fucked up, the shirt's like ripped, and like I'm stoked with it. Not forced. Like, so for you to see that and be like, that's fucking cool.
Yeah.
And now you get it. I've done my job.
Exactly, man. I mean, instantly I was like, I need that fucking hat.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I don't care what I have to do to get that. I don't care if he says it's $1,000. I don't have $1,000, but I'll fucking put it on a credit card. I don't care. I'm getting that hat, So, there's not a lot of things in my life that are like that. Like, I'm not saying I've seen it all or anything like that, but it takes a lot for me to be like, I need to own that. That is fucking original. That's cool. And I really dig what you do. I think it's really, really cool. And I hope more people get to check it out. If people could check it out on Instagram at Dirty Needle Embroidery. But you, like you said, you no website or anything yet, but you're working on it. You'll get it.
I'll get there, man. Like,
Yeah, take your time, man. Fuck it. All right, yeah. So let's.
build the website. Yeah.
Are you gonna build the website, Rob?
Rob's the boss man. Like Rob's fucking good at all the digital stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, it's funny. Like, I've been doing this for a couple of years, and I suck at the social media aspect of it. Like, this would probably be more popular than it is if I just didn't. I don't really care if it's popular or not. Like, I kind of just like doing it, and if the 10 people like it, I'm like, all right, whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
the attitude I like.
yeah, I think at first I was like, oh man, I want to be like, I never really want to be famous, but like I want to make like some kind of an impact or something, and maybe it does here or there. But like,
that's a good point. Yeah. I also don't want to be famous at all, but I would love to make impact. That's a great.
Yeah.
Glad I got to take that away today. That's the best attitude. It's like just impact of the skateboarders too. It's like there's skaters that are never going to be like considered the best skater, but they're my favorite because of their style. They made an impact.
Yeah.
The people that try too hard, man, that shit shows.
Exactly, man. Exactly. And you know, like, I'm not like a great interviewer or anything like that. I find cool people and I'm like, let's just sit in a room, well, a digital room and talk and see what happens. You know, sometimes it's boring as fuck. But sometimes it's awesome and it just flows and it just gels, you know, like I'm not myself right now because I'm sick.
Yeah.
But this was a fucking great time. You're awesome, you know, like, and now even if 2 people checked your shit out and liked it, mission accomplished. You know what I mean? Well, I'm just going to be me. I'm not going to try to be anybody or try to do anything special or have any gimmick. I just want to talk to interesting people who do different shit. And here we are.
Fucking stoked that you talked to me.
Yeah. No, man. Thanks for coming on. It was awesome. So I usually like to ask some questions like stupid shit, just like things I want to know about people for whatever fucking reason. Is there anything right now you're listening to on like heavy rotation?
Oh, well, I just saw Nick Cave live.
Oh shit.
Hanging
Lucky
Rock.
bastard.
It's the place. If you ever see Nick Cave, Hanging Rock is this monumental place that you see him. And they played a lot of Nick Cave's new album, Carnage, Warren Ellis, Nick Cave. There's a song called White Elephant on there. Yeah. That was rotation. And a lot of reggae. Rob and I always listen to reggae.
Yep.
I fucking love reggae music. And keep them out.
Absolutely.
Magazine. I really like Magazine, which is with the album Definitive Gate. Is that the song? Oh, In Real Life is the album. It's the original singer from the Buzz Talks.
Okay.
So it sounds like Buzz Talks produced by Brian Eno. I like.
Yep.
Magazine has been a big one recently, and always Wu-Tang Clan.
Love Wu-Tang Clan, man. I got to see them live.
And Tim Rogers' new album. I really like Tim Rogers as the Noel Gallagher of Australia, I'd say.
Tim Rogers, yeah. I don't know if I'm familiar.
Get familiar.
Get familiar, okay.
His new album is beautiful.
All right, I'm gonna write that down. That's another thing I like to do here is like get some shit that I never heard or seen and check it out.
I didn't know him. I moved here. My wife's a mega fan, and then I was like, "Oh fuck, this guy is like he's the Noel." I think that's a good summary. The Noel Gallagher
of Australia. Awesome, man.
Music like Radio Birdman, The Saints, like and then technically it's New Zealand, but Crowded House is one of the best bands ever of all time ever.
Crowded House, like the 80s Crowded House?
They are still jamming and they are like if you so Australia has insane radio. Like it's not just fucking like if you listen to a classic rock station in America, it's like Fleetwood Mac, Creedence, Tom Petty, the same song.
Right. Same 10 songs.
Here you're just so, fuck, I got in this thing where I started going, hey babe, this is Crowded House, right? And she goes, yeah, because every Crowded House song sounds different. Like they're all, dude, In Excess.
Yeah.
Dude, Australia rules, man.
Yeah, it does, man. It does. You make me want to fucking live there. What's the last thing you watched?
Oh shit. Last thing I watched. Oh yeah. So probably The Wiggles, my kids.
That's the best answer ever.
Yeah, The Wiggles for sure. It was just on. I was trying to show her more animated movies. She's only 6 months, but I'm like, I can't handle the Wiggles anymore. So I put on Howl's Moving Castle.
Oh yeah, I love that.
One of my favorite movies.
What's something that really pisses you off on like a daily basis?
Other than myself, like
Yeah.
my impatience. Like I get impatient, but probably just bad driving.
Okay. Yeah.
As soon as I get in a car, like I go the speed limit. Like
Yeah, me too.
I have a baby in the car. I'm like, I'm gonna get there as fast as you.
Yep.
And people in this neighborhood drive like fucking assholes.
Yeah.
Tuning. Kids are tuning.
Yeah, man. I agree with that 100%. I mean, I live in New York. The traffic's insane. The driving's insane. And I'm the same way. I'm not, where am I going? I'm in no rush.
Yeah.
I'm in no rush. Like people will kill you.
Dude, it puts me in that. I could be in the best mood ever.
Yeah.
Get my in the car. She's crying. My mood goes down a little bit. And then as soon as I pull out and some fucking asshole's just like going 110 and it's like the 50 zone in my house. Somebody's going like 110 and I'm like instantly, ooh. Like,
Yeah.
Like
no, dude.
I fucking Hulk on.
Yep. Like I live on yeah, man. I live on a side street where like kids are walking up and down the street. Parents have their babies and strollers and they're walking the fucking dogs. And some guy is driving like 80 miles an hour down a side road. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Like what is wrong with you?
Road. I walk out the road and do this shit. And the kids,
oh yeah.
I'm like, doing like, doing it just, I get that.
Yeah. I get really heated too, man. I have a loudspeaker and everything. I'll stand out there and I'll start yelling at people. I dare someone to come up to me. I'll fucking wreck them, dude.
I'm like 6 foot and skinny, but I know what I'm doing. So it's like, dude. No,
if you're heated about something, doesn't matter what size you are. It doesn't matter anything, man. I will fucking wreck you.
That's the thing. Kids here.
All right. There we go.
All right.
I think it froze on me there for a second. It could be me. It could be, it's nobody's fault. It's hard to figure out.
It'd be great if it fully froze. And then when it unfroze, I was fully naked.
Yeah. I got to take my fucking pants off, man. It's so hot in here. That's awesome. Where was I? Oh, did you have fun here today?
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Awesome, man. Your shit's so cool, man. I can't wait to see what you continue to make in the future.
I will quickly thank all those other than yourself. I'd say those in the making of keeping me an artist and everything. Thank you, Drake McElroy, my brother, for basically making me, bringing all this art into my life as a kid. Everyone at Ace's Tattoo in Reno, Nevada. Rob and Kevin, you guys are legends. Jake, you're cool too. Here, everybody at Riverside Electric Tattoo Parlor that we frequent. Shiva Das, you are a legend. Everybody that works there, we love you. Rob King, my best.
Rob, man. Yep.
Pushes me more than anybody. We are going to have the Tatty Shack. When we find a space, we're going to have the full-on Tatty Shack, and that is all me being lucky enough to be around Rob, all the daddy's boys, and my wife,
Jessica.
sister. Yeah, the Jessicas.
Jessica.
Thank you. I'm allowed to be in this country and flourish.
Absolutely, man. Can you say your last name again? Because I think at the beginning I said it.
McElroy.
McElroy. Yeah, I think I said McElroy.
It's not wrong.
It's not wrong, but it doesn't sound as cool as McElroy. All right, man. This was a pleasure. And yeah, thank you so much.